Few Australian court cases have attracted this much scrutiny or this much division.
No, don't accept our legal system. Who do you think you are? You're a bit of...
Cardinal George Pell now likely to stay behind bars until at least October 2022.
Been another miracle in the court today. There is a God!
For abuse survivors and their families, today's result brought some relief.
This is a great day for victims.
Get pushed, mate.
So
Sorry.
emotional. I don't know, it's just amazing.
The decision from the Court of Appeal was not unanimous. 2 judges upheld the jury's guilty verdict while 1 dissented. The Catholic Church is now just as split.
I could say I'm appalled, but that would give a sense of no hope. I believe there is hope.
Others within the Church are convinced justice has been done.
Today, it's not just Cardinal Pell, but the whole Church is on the news and in the papers again for having let people down. It sits well with me that the court have again found us wanting.
Victoria Police first started investigating the former Melbourne Archbishop in 2013. 2 years later, a former altar boy came forward to allege that Pell had abused him in the mid-1990s. He claimed he'd also witnessed the abuse of a second boy. That other boy died of a drug overdose in 2014. Cardinal Pell was first interviewed by police about the allegations in Rome in 2016.
I have to rely on the law and my conscience, which say that I'm innocent, and I have to rely on the integrity of investigators, not setting out to make a case, but actually searching for the truth.
Just over 8 months later, Victoria Police laid charges.
Cardinal Pell is facing multiple charges in respect to historic sexual offences.
The court proceedings around Cardinal Pell's case were held almost entirely in secret because of concerns he wouldn't get a fair trial. The first ended with a hung jury. The retrial resulted in a guilty verdict that was then kept secret for months.
Some breaking news, and it can now be revealed that Australia's most senior Catholic Cardinal George Pell has been convicted of sexually abusing 2 choir boys.
George Pell's legal team immediately launched an appeal.
We respect the Australian legal system. The same legal system that delivered the verdict will now consider the appeal that the Cardinal's legal team has lodged. Our hope at all times is that through this process, justice will be served.
This appeal primarily focused on convincing the 3 judges that there had been insufficient evidence for a jury to have reasonably found Cardinal Pell guilty. Basically, that it had been one man's word against the Cardinal.
The Chief Judge and the President of the Court, they decided that actually the jury reached an entirely reasonable decision, that they had concluded that the complainant was fair and he was telling the truth, that he was honest and he was compelling. One of the judges, Justice Weinberg, he actually said that the complainant's evidence wasn't that strong. You only need 2 of the 3 judges to agree in an appeal case.
Guardian journalist Melissa Davey covered both of Cardinal Pell's trials and this appeal.
It was really quiet, actually, in terms of when the decision was announced. All I could hear was the journalists frantically typing, but aside from that, people didn't react.
As Cardinal George Pell rescinds his appeal.
Many within the Church are also in disbelief at the outcome.
I believe that George Pell is totally incapable of what he's been accused of and what he's been convicted for. Totally incapable.
Will you accept this outcome?
I don't accept this outcome because I hope it is appealed to a higher court. And all Christians believe there's an ultimate tribunal anyway in the next world, in eternity.
Melbourne Bishop Peter Elliott studied at Oxford with George Pell and has remained a close friend for over 50 years.
Very relaxed and normal with children and young people. He calls them youngsters, is an old-fashioned Ballarat word, I suppose, and perfectly natural. And I know he abhors child abuse.
What message would you have for your own parishioners about this decision today?
if I can dare to echo Churchill's cliche, keep calm and carry on praying.
To Bishop Elliott, I would say, I am far more concerned with the welfare of the fellas in this case and their families, and perhaps as a metaphor for the thousands of people who are abused at the hands of the church. It just doesn't seem good enough to me to say, well, when it suits us, we're going to say to the fella in this trial, we don't believe you.
Father Andrew Hayes is the local priest at Ararat, part of the Ballarat Catholic Archdiocese that's become infamous for decades of abuse by priests and nuns.
The church's reputation is in tatters, and it has been since I was a child. I don't know that we can sink any lower.
The victim's lawyer read a statement on his behalf today.
I felt that I should say what I saw and what had happened to me. I had experienced something terrible as a child, and I wanted some good to come of it. I would like to acknowledge my friend who passed away, the other choir boy.
Cardinal Pell has indicated he may take this matter further and appeal to the High Court, a step that's sure to further test the Church and the faithful.
We've been through the sex abuse issues. We're still coming through them. Royal Commission was in many ways necessary. We've taken it on board, we're doing our best. The Church moves on. The Church is eternal because the Church one day will merge into what we call the kingdom.
I'm really hopeful that today brings some peace, some healing for people.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.